This is Idiots with Opinions. Idiots may vary. Welcome back, idiots of the world. My name is Todd Schlugamalk, and with me, as always, is my co-host, Tuscan Fairfield, trying to give you the news that you never knew you needed to hear. This is Idiots with Opinions, and we are here to give you the good news, I guess.
That's right. Todd, you said trying to give you the news. I think I like to think we're succeeding in giving the news.
Well,
when we set out to give the news, it is always my goal to succeed in that.
I think if I know that I'm not necessarily perfect, then that makes me more perfect than you. That's how that works.
Sounds like something Jesus said. Did Jesus say that?
No.
Is that like a Sermon on the Mount sort of?
That was like that was like the unreleased part of the Bible that he was, you know,
the unabridged,
the sermons you never got to hear.
I always wonder about those parts that the Romans were like, I don't think we're gonna be able to sell this. Like all that rant he gave for like 20 minutes back there. Why don't you go ahead and toss that page out? Leviticus. It's just not.
Leviticus is in the Old Testament, Tuscan.
Well, that doesn't mean other people weren't named Leviticus. Okay? It's a common name that everybody has. We all know a Leviticus out there. He's a good guy. Or girl. They never
don't discriminate. You can have a Leviticus daughter or sister or friend.
Todd, to be honest with you, I've never read the Old Testament. I don't know.
I
don't know what happened.
I assumed not.
Yeah.
Well, let me give you a little summary. So there's this garden, and he's like, "Hey, don't eat fruit." But then they eat the fruit, and then there's this giant flood, and then everybody dies except for this one dude who built a big boat, and then a bunch of fights, and then Jesus was born.
Wasn't there like a whole thing where they were trying to build a tower to heaven?
Yeah.
Yeah. How about that? That'd be cool. We should do that again.
No.
Yeah.
You should read the story.
Well, I mean, we already all have different languages. Like we can communicate now. We're all together.
I think somebody told me.
What's guy gonna do?
I think somebody that I don't know if I believe them, but somebody once told me that like Hitler or Saddam Hussein tried to start rebuilding the Tower of Babel.
That sounds like something Hitler would do. He was a very like crusade-y type of person. He was like, remember that thing that we all regret doing from 1000 AD to roughly, 1300?
Let's do it again.
Let's do that again. Yeah. Let's have a religious crusade again. That seems like a great idea. No, that's always a terrible idea. Don't have a crusade.
Well, what if God tells you to do something?
I don't think the Normans were driven by what God was telling them to do. To be completely honest with you. I'm actually taking a class on the Crusades right now, and my professor claims that part of the reason the Pope wanted people to go on a crusade is because they were all killing each other and civilians and stuff like that in Europe at the time, in like Francia and England and in the Holy Roman Empire. And he was like, hey, how about instead of killing each other, y'all go to the Middle East and kill these Muslims. These guys suck. And everybody was like, yeah, okay, let's do that. That was the Crusades. It was the Pope just giving you an excuse to like let off steam because they were all too alpha for each other.
Well, what about the search for the Holy Grail?
What Holy Grail?
We should go find the Holy Grail.
I don't think we'd find it.
We can do it.
I struggle to find my keys from time to time, dude. It's like, plus I'd probably be the one who comes upon the what do you call him? The Templar in the cave, and he'd be like, "You chose poorly," and then he'd smite me. Like, you think I could get through all those traps? You know what I mean?
Hey, I don't know. I feel like
I know how to spell Jehovah.
You know that one?
Hebrew?
I'm like, my knowledge of where the Holy Grail is based solely off of the third Indiana Jones movie.
The Last Crusade.
Yeah, so the trap where he has to like just jump into the middle of nowhere, I would just fall. You know.
Yeah, absolutely. I wouldn't be smart enough to scatter sand. Like, You think I would understand what the penitent man does? I would not kneel. I'd be cut straight in half by those saw blades.
Well,
you know what I mean?
See, he has in this movie, in the third Indiana Jones movie, for the people who haven't watched this, he goes through these like I think there's 3 different traps that he has to pass through.
Yeah.
And the one where he has to kneel and stuff, I feel like he just comes up with the idea that he has to do that like in the moment.
Yeah, 100%.
And it doesn't really like, make sense.
Man.
He's like,
penitent man. What is it? The penitent man kneels.
Kneel. And then he kneels.
Yeah, it's kind of a Deus Ex Machina, but you know what Indiana Jones movie isn't Harrison Ford using his limitless knowledge of the past as a Deus Ex Machina to get out of random situations. He's like the MacGyver of history, you know?
Yeah.
He's like, well, I can read ancient Babylonian, and this is what that means. It's like, what, dude? You remember in the newest one? Which, speaking of the newest one, I can't say I'm necessarily bummed out, but I'm surprised at Steven Spielberg for not using Shia LaBeouf to reboot the Indiana Jones franchise.
Well, I think everyone hated the movie so much and I don't think Shia LaBeouf was into it after that.
Oh, but who cares if people hate the movie? That's like Hollywood's attitude towards everything. It's like, but will they see it? Of course they will.
That's
true. Indiana Jones.
That's true.
Right?
Yeah, they'll hate watch it at least.
Yeah, right? Just so they can... And then there will be 1,000 YouTube videos that overanalyze it and be like, you see this thing in the background? It's not contingent with the canon in the original Indiana Jones. Like... Steven Spielberg was making a pointed decision when he put this in the shot. It's like, what are you talking about, dude? It's like just a prop that they wanted to bring in. I don't know. Anyway, the point is, though, people will make franchises just for the point of having other people see it.
Well, that's just Star Wars now.
Yeah, that's what Star Wars has been for a while now.
Yeah.
I think we kind of have to accept that. The Star Wars you loved is dead. It's alive in our hearts, though. We all still love it. You know, those iconic moments. I still like the prequels.
I mean,
they were good.
Many Bothans died to get to where we are now,
and I didn't see a single freaking Bothan in Rogue One. That's the one thing I was so upset about.
Yeah, me too.
Where were the Bothans, huh? Where were the many Bothans that died? Like, it could have been covered in a 30-second shot of a ship full of Bothans. You know what I mean? I don't even know what a Bothan is, but that's you could have just had them like crash into the shield around the planet that what's her name was on.
They would have no need to do that. There would be
it doesn't matter, but many Bothans died.
As many Bothans died to get this information.
Yeah, they were part of the mission.
So they just had a shipload of Bothans, and they were just like, let's just ram it into the force field, and all of us die.
We should make a hashtag Bothan Lives Matter t-shirt.
I don't know if that would fare well. But now that we've lost all of our non-nerds,
hey,
why don't we...
What's up, nerds?
What if we go into our next
Yeah,
story?
I'll start this off. So
I hear that you have some really sad stories today.
I have 2 really sad stories and one that's not as sad. I'll see where the conversation leads us, and I'll choose wisely. My favorite part of that Indiana Jones movie is that we found out that Indiana was the name of the dog, and his name was like Ted or whatever. What was his actual name?
I don't know.
Cornwall?
Probably.
Leviticus. Yeah. Anyway, but speaking of dogs, that was not at all forced. There is a dog who shot a man. And this man's leg needed to be amputated. Yeah, let me explain.
What was this dog packing?
12 gauge shotgun. So there was a former LSU offensive lineman who went out hunting with a couple of his friends. His name was Matt Branch, if you're familiar with Louisiana State University from 2008 to 2011. So much so that you know the names of the offensive linemen. That name might ring a bell. He had a Labrador Retriever named Tito, whose name seems to imply that he was drunk at the time that he shot this man. And Tito was out hunting with Matt Branch and some of Branch's friends. And basically, they were loading some stuff into their truck, and I think they were just getting done hunting, but it was 9:40 in the morning.
Turn around.
Yeah.
Get on your knees.
So Tito jumped off the bed of the truck into their little ATV called a Polaris. I'm sure you're familiar with what those things are, right? Jumps into that thing where this guy's still got his shotgun and lands directly on the safety, disengages the safety, and somehow pulls the trigger and shoots this guy right in the side of his leg. And so his friends, realized what had happened completely by surprise. I mean, they would not expect a dog to shoot a man. And they were able to get him to, a nearby road where emergency vehicles could take care of him. But, the bullet, or the bullets rather, because it's a shotgun, severed his femoral artery. Uh-huh. And so he was losing a ton of blood, and he had a bunch of blood transfusions, several hours of surgery, and the decision was made to amputate a portion of his leg in order to save his life. So now we have a legless man who used to play for LSU, and it's nobody's fault but the dog.
Is the dog still alive?
Sorry. It doesn't say, but I really hope so, because it's not like the dog was aggressive or anything like that. The dog was just being a good boy. The dog had been
planning this for years.
Yeah. The dog was watching him.
He was like, this is my chance.
Right? But it doesn't strike me that this would be the sort of thing that, you would need to have your dog euthanized, right? It's not like he attacked somebody or, was rabid or...
Okay, yeah, but remember that story last season where you talked about that dog that just, ate some guy's genitalia?
Yeah, I do, but that seems aggressive, right?
He was eating peanut butter. I'm upset about this.
Yeah. Well,
he was just doing what he was supposed to.
Yeah, I'm upset about it.
Doing, what he was taught to do.
He was not supposed to be doing that.
Okay, well,
that is true.
It's not his fault that he wasn't supposed to be doing that. That's not just
I 100%
he was
agree with you.
Searching for something to do, and he was like, "Let me, do this to my owner." No. His owner was like, come here, boy.
There are very few times where killing a dog is the right thing to do. Yeah. Very few occasions. Even if the dog attacks somebody or bites somebody, I almost never think it's the right idea to euthanize the dog.
Yeah, you should euthanize the adults that raised it.
The morons who are keeping this dog and not training it properly or in some other way neglecting it.
Can I say this for a second? I always get really upset with families that have these dogs and then they just feel so bad about it. Like they don't want to discipline it, which I'm not saying beat your dog, but I'm saying you got to be at least a little disciplinary for your dog to stop being stupid.
Yeah. You can't watch him poop on the floor and be like, oh, but he's a good boy. It's like, yeah, but he pooped on the floor. He needs to learn not to do that. Yeah,
so you just need to teach him that that's not something that he should do. I'm not saying you should
never beat your dog.
Never beat your dog.
It's never necessary.
But you can yell at him, because then they'll be like, oh, I don't like this feeling. I'm gonna realize, okay, this is because I pooped on the ground in this area. Yeah. I'm not gonna poop over here anymore.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's because I'm barking so loud for so long.
Dogs are hypersensitive to human tone of voice. They can't understand words, but they understand your body language and your tone of voice.
Except for this dog that shot somebody. He was like,
yeah, well, Labrador retrievers are not notoriously intelligent dogs.
I disagree. Well, Chessie is really stupid, but she's smart in other ways.
Right. I mean, she can be trained to do the Chessie chase, and retrievers by definition can be trained to retrieve birds and small game that you shoot when you're hunting. Mm-hmm. But other than that, not the smartest of animals.
This is true.
You get something small, like a Cocker Spaniel, really smart dog. It can open a door if it could reach the handle. stuff like that. Those things are kind of scary. They're like the apes that are definitely going to take over the world at some point.
Dawn of the Planet of the Cocker Spaniels.
Yeah, exactly.
You need a Planet of the Apes spinoff that's just Cocker Spaniels.
Planet of the Corgis.
I would watch it. That's one of those things. So many people would watch it because they recognize the franchise.
Yeah. I bet every high school and college-aged girl would go and see Planet of the Corgis.
You're right.
If it came out. That you would have a 100% attendance rate. And honestly, not a bad place to pick up chicks. Let's make this movie. Let's make Planet of the Corgis. It's like Isle of Dogs, but less animated and less Wes Anderson-like.
Yeah. Or
did you see that one?
No. I don't know if you've seen the trailer for this one movie called it's not A Dog's Purpose. It's like A Dog's Way Home or something. And the trailer just spoils the whole movie.
Oh, that's too bad.
It's like the whole movie seems like it's about this journey for this dog to get back to their owner. And like it finds this lion or something, and that's like a scene of tension in the trailer. And then it's like, oh, we became friends. It's like you ruined that whole part of the movie. And then they go back and find their owner in the trailer. It's like, what?
Yeah. Maybe we're just watching a short.
No. No. This is the trailer.
Just watching like a 2-minute short that was way overproduced.
Well,
so yeah, that dog. As far as I know, Tito is still alive, and I hope he is, because there's no way Matt Branch hated this dog. Took him hunting. He was his little pal, little hunting buddy.
Yeah, but
sometimes your hunting buddy is Dick Cheney and he shoots you. So,
well.
That's a movie I want to see. I want to see the Christian Bale, Dick Cheney movie.
Yeah, my dad hated it.
Well, your dad, that means it's good, though. Most of the time, when your dad hates movies, it means they're decent movies.
Yeah. So I want to go to Europe for this next story, Tuscan. And it's technology. It's new technology, state of the art technology.
Indeed.
For car manufacturers. So car manufacturers have come up with this it was Ford actually, came up with this new technology to test the durability of their seats. And it is this giant robot that acts as a big sweaty butt. It's called the Robot. And it is meant to emulate...
A robot.
She's a robot. She's a robot, I tell you. Yeah, it's meant to emulate 10 years worth of abuse in 3 days so that they can test how good their seats are. And it makes like this giant... It's supposed to be this large man's butt, and it like moves around, and it sweats, and all this.
Does it like pound against the seat? Like a boxing glove?
I haven't seen a video of this. I tried to find a video, haven't found it. Oh, yes, there is a video, but I'm not going to watch it now. Anyway, it's very interesting, and it's called the Robot. Like
the Robot. You can't get more adorable than that.
Yeah.
Is it? I don't know if you can tell from the article or from the pictures, but is it made of like rubber or
it looks something metallic and...
Oh, really?
Well, okay. It's weird. Do you want to see? I don't know if you can see.
Yeah, flip it around on your phone.
See that? That's the best view I can find of it. It's strange.
Interesting. That is weird.
Well,
it is really weird.
I wish I could show this to the viewers. So we're just looking.
Did you get a new phone, by the way?
Yes, I did.
Did you finally get a new phone?
Yes, I did.
How does that feel?
It's good. I like the new phone.
Look at you.
Look at me.
Newfangled tech. Now your phone's better than my phone.
That's true.
Well, I don't know. I'm not making comments about Apple. Apple's caught enough flack lately. Their stock price keeps falling, and it's not like I own stocks or anything in Apple, but I like to see them succeed because I like buying their products, and I like it when they're
You like seeing them succeed?
I do.
The large corporation that is Apple.
Yeah, I think they make good stuff, and they deserve success.
It's not that they make good stuff. They make good integration between their products, but that's neither here nor there. Tuscan, what else you got
Their
for
stuff
me?
and their OS looks pretty.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it's all aesthetics, man. That's what the 21st century has taught us. It's all aesthetics. All right. Well, I went too depressing on the first story, so we're gonna go slightly lighthearted on the second story.
All right.
There is a substitute teacher in Sarasota, Florida. We're going back to Florida, Todd. You know it's gonna be good.
Oh no.
You know it's gonna be good. 42 years old. She lives in Sarasota, Florida, and she was angry with a principal that she worked for at one point, and they said, basically she goes to this park, right, where the principal is going to be throwing a party for her kid or something like that. I don't think the teacher is actually named in this article. No. But the principal is... Oh, no. Her name is Allison Foster. And she was going to have a birthday party for her daughter at this little pavilion in a park. And when she showed up there, she found that the tables, the park benches, the park tables, and the little grills in the pavilion had all been smeared with feces. And according to eyewitnesses, they witnessed this woman, whose name was Heather Carpenter, show up there with a bucket full of this stuff, and urine, by the way.
Full of
not
feces
just straight
and urine.
feces.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, you gotta get it all a nice substance.
With like a mop bucket full of this stuff, right? And she's wearing these blue safety gloves and a gas mask, pretty much. And she's smearing this stuff by hand all over she'd dump it out and then just rub it into the tables and stuff like that, just to ruin this woman's daughter's birthday party.
What?
How petty and cynical is that? I don't even know what she was mad about, because it doesn't quite illustrate what this was.
People are stupid.
Yeah, something about a professional complaint, and was not happy about how the situation was handled.
All right.
Where she was working.
So if you're mad at your job or you somebody, you should never go attack them in their personal life.
I think that's the best way to get back at people.
No. Especially that obvious. You're going to get caught.
Yeah. No, you're right. I mean, you should have been wearing a face mask, like a Freddy Krueger mask or something like that.
Yeah.
Show up like the guys in Point Break, where you're wearing the ex-president's masks.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, cool way to rob a bank. I always thought that. You ever see that movie?
The original one with Patrick Swayze and Keanu Reeves?
Or the new one with all those guys, both of them?
No, neither.
I have seen both. The original with the Sways is better. It also had Gary Busey in it.
I'm Gary Busey.
It was better from a story standpoint, and I felt the characters more. But the new one was so much cooler from a cinematography and visual standpoint. Which, speaking of which, I know I texted you about this the other day, but I'm going to continue to rave about it because I watched Unbreakable for the first time.
Oh yeah,
M. Night Shyamalan movie, came out in 2000.
The one with Sam Jackson, right?
Sam Jackson and Bruce Willis, and interestingly enough, Robin Wright from House of Cards and from
Princess Bride and Forrest Gump.
Yep, all those ones, all those good things. Yeah, she was in it, and it's such a good sort of it's a very genuine and real superhero origin story thing, and it's not at all what you'd expect from M. Night Shyamalan.
Yeah,
but of course.
Well, his
the
stuff is either
exactly
hit
expect.
or really, really miss hard.
But apparently it didn't receive the praise it deserved because it came out after The Sixth Sense, which was just a ridiculous box office hit. Everybody loved that movie. I thought it was fantastic.
Yeah, but if you compare it to M. Night Shyamalan's Avatar: The Last Airbender movie.
Listen, I'm not saying he's a directional genius, by any means. But they're coming out with those new ones, right? They've got Split that came out like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And they've got...
Glass?
Glass, yeah.
That's the one with that they're putting all together. He's trying to make his own MCU.
Yeah, absolutely.
M. Night Shyamalan Extended Universe, Cinematic Universe, whatever.
That's the one. It's the first one was fire, and if the other ones are anything like the first one, they're gonna be fantastic. And the shots in it are just beautiful. Like, it's so mysterious, and the way the camera's, it's often fixed camera with a bunch of the scene is happening kind of in the background, and you've got something else sort of visually either in your way of getting a full sense of the scene, or you've got sort of a hallway or some sort of visual direction where your eyes are drawn straight to the middle of the shot where something important has happened.
Yum.
I think you'd really like it. Like, there's this one shot near the end of the movie where Bruce Willis is walking through a house and the camera's set outside a window, and the window has drapes on it, but the window's open, so the drapes are like flying everywhere, so you only get like brief snapshots of what's going on in the room.
Oh, that's cool.
But the way it is, like, you can get a sense for the whole room, but you don't see it all at once.
That's awesome.
And so it's really pretty. I think you'd really like it.
I just watched a really pretty movie, but it was just so violent on Netflix yesterday. But you know what, Tuscan? Netflix. What a crazy, crazy thing to be able to just watch something on your phone in this day and age.
What have we become?
What have we become? Now, let me tell you a story about how Netflix saved the day. This one lady named Angela Borden decided that her son, Demir, should not be watching Netflix because he's always watching Netflix, and you can get it on your phone and stuff. So she was telling
those dang kids,
you need to stop watching Netflix. Mm-hmm. And so he was supposed to go to bed around 10 p.m.
Yep. And
he just didn't listen. He was like, "Nah, I'm gonna watch Netflix."
Of course not. He's a kid.
He was watching The Flash, CW's The Flash.
Not a great show.
No,
but I understand.
Hey, he said I watched a video and they were saying, or I heard him say that he had just started season 4, in case anyone wanted to know, of The Flash. And so he was watching this until like 1 a.m. And then he realized that there was a fire in his house.
Okay.
And he woke up his mom, and they barely got out alive.
Really?
So
Netflix saves lives.
A couple of their pets passed away. They saved some, but some of their pets died. And she was saying, "Well, I don't know what I would have done if he didn't disobey me and went to sleep when I told him to."
Well, there you go.
So all you kids that are upset at their parents for making them go to sleep and not watch Netflix late at night, don't listen to them. Don't listen to your parents. Don't listen to them.
But also, listen to me as I say this now. Don't do the Bird Box challenge, man. I was looking for stories today. I ran across some guy who had gotten in a car accident while driving blindfolded.
What?
Doing the Bird Box challenge. And I'm like, come on, man.
That's so obviously stupid.
What did you expect to happen, dude? Why are you taking what has gone on and trying to ramp it up to a point where you are going to get killed?
Was he vlogging this?
Probably.
Okay, well, at least he got it for the views, but stupid.
Nope, not cool. Hopefully the video can buy him a new car, because that thing is totaled. It is. I saw a picture.
So dumb.
It is rough. He got T-boned.
You can just imagine the clickbaity title. I did the Bird Box challenge and totaled my own car.
Yeah,
not clickbait.
Yeah, I could definitely see.
What if he would have killed somebody?
Thumbnail now.
What if some little kid would have run out into the middle of the street and he was blindfolded?
Exactly. Yeah, it's
stupid.
All kinds of stupid. Like, you would not believe how stupid people are.
People are so stupid.
It's like this time last year when people were just munching on Tide Pods. It's like, how could you be so moronic?
I don't know.
I don't understand it. Well,
kids these days.
Well, Todd, have you got anything else for me this afternoon?
Well, I was gonna tell you about somebody else who does the Bird Box Challenge. Does it really, really
Who's
well.
that?
His name's Carl Westberg.
Our episode might not be brought to you by Carl Westberg today. We might have an entirely new sponsor at the beginning of this episode that you heard, and we
Probably just a weird jump cut or something. I don't know.
Something like that. We may have recorded it. We may not have recorded it.
Yeah, who knows?
But if not, Carl Westberg paid for the whole thing, and
he's still supporting us. We just have a little extra punch in our fists.
Yeah,
today.
He might sue us. We'll see.
Yeah, well,
pending
whatever.
legal charges.
You know.
If you want to get in contact with us or talk to us about any of the brand new and exciting things we're looking forward to in Season 3, you can get in contact with us at studiosvolatile@gmail.com. Find us on Instagram at idioticopinions@gmail.com. I know Todd put up a picture of him last week where he was dressed as Neil Armstrong. That was a fun time.
Yeah. First man on the moon. That was me.
And if you want to see our Twitter, get updated on when our new episodes drop, or, send us some funny memes, because, we appreciate a good meme.
Yeah, send us some memes.
Hit us up, at us on Twitter, but don't at me, bro. At Opinions That Suck, SUK, on Twitter.
That's right. Yeah, and I don't know. Is there anything else?
No, from all of us at Volatile Studios, we wish you a happy Sunday. Make sure you get those essays written. I know you're listening to podcasts while you're writing them. Why don't you turn off the podcasts, because now you're just writing what I'm saying, aren't you? I know you're typing it.
And watch out for your dogs, because they might have a vendetta against you. Keep them away from the guns.
Keep your left eye on that Labrador Retriever at all times, man. He might be plotting something that you have no idea.
It might not even be guns. It could be poison. It could be, I don't know. There's many ways.
They'll just bite your throat out. Who knows? They turn vicious at the snap of a finger. But mostly they're good boys.
Mostly.
You've been listening to Idiots with Opinions. Tune in next week